Hey, welcome back to the binary. Oh, Zach, can you hear me?
Hello?
Hey, how's it going?
Hello?
Where are you?
Uh,
You're not in your usual.
no, I'm in some other.
Wait! Oh my God! Whoa! What? We're in the same space.
Craziness.
Uh,
Crazy.
welcome back home to Chicago, Zach.
It's good to be back.
Yeah, how you? I mean, I saw you last week.
How you doing?
I'm all right. Obviously, this is gonna be a bit of a jam-packed one. Because we're covering two. Because we missed last week.
Exactly.
And yeah, because we have two episodes to cover. And also just a hangout. We're here drinking whiskey. Anything could happen.
Anything could happen.
Cheers. All right.
Oh, I guess I should take a drink.
It's not just for show.
All right.
We're the real deal. So welcome to. Well, I mean, I guess you guys have seen this background before when I used to record video.
Back in the day.
But now I kind of inverted my room a little bit to
The studio.
kind of like a Joe Rogan type
Yeah.
deal. But
Got any pot?
you know it.
Got some death sticks?
Probably do somewhere in this apartment. This is funny. This is okay.
funny.
So obviously the elephant in the room is this is the first time we've ever recorded this
Yes.
facing each other in real life.
Look into my eyes. What do you see?
I see you right in front of me.
That's not what I see.
What do you see?
It looked away.
You lost it.
It was somewhere.
Well,
Somewhere in there.
I guess this is our sign from here on out to just do virtual. we can't be trusted.
No.
What are we doing?
You want to discuss the news or?
Oh, sure. Well, first I just want to.
AB, this was an excuse for AB to show off.
This is just an excuse.
That's why he.
This is my toy collection. I got a bunch of toys.
Yeah, but AB, you haven't even opened them. Why don't you open them on screen?
It's called a lightsaber.
Yeah, but it's not the Disney one.
It's not. No, this is. I got this in 2000. I got this in 2007. Here. This is Rey's lightsaber.
Whoa, it is kind of heavy.
It is heavy. Yeah, it's formidable. Yeah, I got that. I got that in.
Wait, I'm stupid. How do you turn it on?
You don't know how to turn on. Here, you. Yeah, this one.
Oh.
It's that, like the little beads right there. Show everybody how you do it, in case they didn't know. That'd do it. You dubbing me? Am I a knight now? Okay.
I couldn't hear you.
Anyways. We're just a fuck.
An old ASMR of lightsaber.
We're just a couple of goofballs. Anyway, so
Just two nerds
what are we doing?
drinking whiskey, talking Star Wars.
This is funny because it's like you're back in town.
Yeah.
We hung out last week, and this is us obviously hanging in this week. But it's like it's kind of just like we're which is the same thing as usual. Like we just kind of record our conversations as they probably would exist anyway. This is just us like sitting somewhere and just recording
I feel
things.
like I haven't had like a conversation this close, like literally close to you in a long time.
Oh, it's been forever. Yeah.
Like I feel like last time I like was this close was like when we were in middle or high school. We were yelling at each other or something.
Probably. I probably was threatening you or
It's
something.
like you don't have like you don't have a people don't have. I mean, I guess we're not that far away.
Well, no, because it's kind of deceptive. Because
Yeah.
I'm looking at the screen now. It looks
farther than it actually.
it looks farther than it actually is. Yeah.
Camera, lens work.
We look really good.
We look really good.
I like with that. I also like that we're like talking to them too.
Yeah, I don't know who to like look at You
We
or
we
them?
could split the difference. You
All
know.
right, we'll split the difference.
This is just kind of like this thing is kind of like locked in place here. So technically to get the best audio, I have to face this way. But anyway, this is gonna be one doozy of an episode. I
Yeah.
think this is probably gonna be the longest episode we've ever done. I've just assume.
Oh boy, it's
I'm-
really gonna be Joe Rogan. Going
Oh,
on.
for sure, yeah.
Jeez.
It's gonna be about 4 hours.
Great.
No, that's probably like 45 minutes or something. But anyway, so yeah, Bad Batch. We missed last week. The week before, I just watched the new one today. So last Thursdays or Fridays was.
I just watched both today.
Oh, you watched both, okay.
Both fresh in my mind.
I can't remember what the. Do you remember what the title of the? I have a fucking computer right here.
Very prepared. Even when we were in person.
Bad Batch.
What's the Bad Batch up to?
Okay, so
I can tell you, I think it was 26 minutes this time. So
that's all you could.
like that's literally. I don't even.
I don't remember the story.
Yeah, I don't remember the
but-
story. I don't remember the names, but I remember the time codes.
Oh,
That's
Common Ground was last week.
all right. Common ground.
Common Ground. That was. That oh my god! I am so I like literally it'll take me even like the latest episode that I literally watched before you got here.
Yeah.
I'm already forgetting. So last week was Omega was held back from the group, right?
Last week, Omega was held back from the group and became a gambler.
Yes.
She is a child gambler, not child slavery. I know Star Wars has a thing for child slavery, but we haven't really seen children gamble.
She
yet,
didn't
so.
get paid for anything.
No, she did.
Well,
She got 60%, bro.
yeah, but it was for the
Yeah, but she got.
it was for the Bad Batch.
Yeah, I know, but that was.
Well, I'm okay. Well, at the least they could do. Hunter better buy her some like ice cream for her troubles.
No, it's the popcorn snack.
Oh,
They said it in that.
or Mantel.
Yeah.
No, it's Mantel mix. Mantel
It's,
mix.
it's Garrett's popcorn.
It's Garrett's
I don't
popcorn.
care what anybody
But it
says.
looks like a rotten Garrett's. It's
It
purple and
does.
stuff.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Come to Chicago. Also, City of Chicago. If you want to sponsor us, that's totally fine. Garrett's popcorn.
That'd be great.
Delicious. Whatever. All right.
Delicious
Anyway,
popcorn.
Continue.
I'm really struggling to think of what the plot was because I know the plot of the latest one.
So
was.
they got the so they got the job, or they didn't want to go on another job
Try not
because
to hit this because I didn't hit that. Yeah.
yeah, you're right.
They got a job.
I'm spoiled because I have this
I know.
shock mount.
I know you're really scaling it.
So okay.
They did
Sorry.
a job.
I feel like now that we're filming it,
Putting
I'm like
your hands on.
I keep doing that. I'm sorry. I feel like now. See, I feel completely off my game right
I
now.
don't have to wrap your hands around you. Just be like.
Fair enough. So last week's episode had they got a job from Sid, and they didn't want to get the job from Sid because
Exactly.
they were a bunch of bounty hunters are after Omega.
Yes, there are 2 bounty hunters after her. Yeah.
So they, she's basically like, you still have to pay me off. So they're like, okay, I guess we have to go. So
I remember it now. Yeah.
So they got the job they told Omega to stay back, and they got the job from Sid about the
the senator.
the senator
exile.
from.
It's a separatist.
It was the Separatist homeworld.
Yeah, it's a separatist homeworld.
And I can't remember. I think we were so. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we were there in the Clone Wars, and I think
Probably.
Padme went there
Oh.
undercover to talk to another senator that lived there,
They seem like nice people.
and that's
Just
where.
got mixed up in it. I
Well,
guess.
here's the thing: is that it's funny because Cassian Andor,
Yeah.
he was a Separatist.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Sure.
and when he was like, I've been in this fight since I was 6. He's basically talking about how he was fighting out the Republic from doing, from basically overstepping their
Wait,
bounds.
the separatists weren't the bad guys?
No, it turns out. So there's this dude named Darth Sidious. It-
Not like Palpatine, right?
no, those are 2 different people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
One has a hood. The other one
Oh,
doesn't.
The other one doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's a good one.
Wait, you don't think that? Oh,
Anyway, let's get back to the thing. Basically, it's just a quick cut rescue mission. They save. I mean, it's a lot of great action in this. Basically, just all the Bad Batch, not all the Bad Batch, obviously, but the 4 Bad Batch, go and save this separatist leader who, at the beginning of the episode, says, "I can't do this. Like, I can't. Like, I gotta put my the interest of my people as the best interest of my people at heart." And so he gets arrested. He's a prisoner. Bad Batch break him out because he sends his droid to basically. Wow, honestly, this is a great droid. Like, the droid literally just like.
The droid
contacts Sid,
yeah.
And then they're like, "Hey, the droid needs you to save their master, which is the senator." And the Bad Batch basically rescue him. And while this is going on, Omega becomes a gambler, and Sid uses Omega's skills, tactical skills, to make a lot of money. And that's the entire episode. Basically, that simple.
Yep, it's very simple.
Yeah.
A lot of fun too.
A lot of fun.
I had a lot of fun watching.
A lot of show, don't tell. So.
Yeah, it was another one of those like kind of like, oh, got a job, do it kind of things.
Yeah.
But it had implications for, I think, the impending galactic civil war, in that people, because at the beginning of the episode, the Bad Batch were very reluctant to want to help a separatist.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point.
By the end, they were like, you live to fight another day, that kind of stuff.
They're growing
as people, but they're also growing. They're understanding, because they had a certain frame of mind during the Clone Wars, and that's all been just trashed. So now they have to understand the galaxy as a whole again, and that means making friends with enemies that you've had for years.
Yeah.
Because you now have a common enemy, which was the army that you fought for, but
sure,
a difference in ideology. But
yeah.
I also can't remember. I feel like that guy that they were, the senator yeah. looks so familiar, and I can't remember. I feel like everybody in this show, like, I've seen before.
Yeah.
In some Clone Wars episode.
Yeah.
But
it's truth.
Yeah, and then meanwhile, Omega's like kicking ass at Dejarik.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? I can't remember.
It's
Dejarik, right?
You know what I've never realized?
What?
That game is basically Yu-Gi-Oh.
Long ago, when the pyramids were still young.
I mean,
or Pokemon Stadium.
I was always more of a Digimon guy.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
I was not.
Agumon,
you do like Digimon.
I do like Digimon. But it was basically Pokemon Stadium. That's what that game is.
That was George Lucas created Pokemon.
He did.
Or it's kind of like a proto Super Mario Bros. It's like Super Mario Bros. But with chess.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Sure.
I'm more right than you. So, and that's on video. So.
Yeah.
I wonder if they have like a thing online where you can play it. I'm sure they do. Where it's like a simulated like Dejarik board. I hope that's the fucking name. I'm almost positive that's the name.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she knows, like, she's very good at strategy. She knows, I'm sure what everyone's gonna do 10 steps before they do it.
Yeah.
She wins Sid a bunch of money. Sid really well. At first Sid's like, I think it was a growing moment for Sid as well, because like at the beginning Sid was like, here's a fucking sponge, go clean this. Like, shut up, you're just an annoying little kid.
Yeah.
I have to take care of you. I don't want to. Well, you know what? Maybe it's not a growing moment, because the only reason why she like cozied up to Omega is because she got something out of it.
Yeah.
So yes and no. It's funny. I was watching it and my girlfriend was in the background and she's like, who's that? Who's the voice of that person? And I told her. She's like, oh yeah. It's so funny that it's like Carla in the bar, still working in the bar. But that's pretty much episode what was that, 10 I think, or 9, I don't know. But the episode that I just watched, that we just watched today,
a lot going on, and
so good too.
I'm gonna defer to you to sum it up, because I feel like I'm not qualified because I did not watch all of the Clone Wars.
Okay.
Or Rebels.
So. Well, so I feel like I botched the last episode that we were just talking about. But
No, I mean it's pretty simple.
it's pretty simple.
Yeah,
I was trying to
botched it.
milk it for a little bit.
There's nothing else to milk.
Yeah. So this most recent episode, what's the title? Devil's Deal. Devil's Deal was insanely good in my opinion.
It was.
It's basically an origin story for Hera Syndulla. And you don't know who Hera Syndulla is, but she is one of the main characters from Rebels. She is the pilot of the Ghost.
I mean, I got that much. Like I recognized her because she was with Chopper.
Mm-hmm. Chopper. We didn't. I had no idea. I don't know if maybe they alluded to this in Rebels at all, but that she literally grew up with Chopper.
Oh.
Because we knew Chopper like was in the Clone Wars. We knew Chopper was like a really old droid, but I had no, I think, idea that Chopper and her were like she had Chopper when she was a child.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. It was really nice to hear Chopper's voice again. I love Chopper. He's such a mess. He's just a drunk droid, essentially.
Basically.
He's just a drunk R2. And it was I got confused at first because I thought, so you see Hera's parents and Hera's dad you see in both Clone Wars and Rebels. He fights with the Republic to get the Separatists out of Ryloth in the Clone Wars series, and then in the Rebels he is we see him again, and he's got this. He's doing some like terrorist thing for against the Empire, and it's clashing. I forgot the episode. Clear it up if you can in the comments, but he clashes with Hera in that regard. Yeah. I think she's more of he was almost in the Galactic Civil War. He was almost more of a Saw Gerrera type, and she was more alliance based, organized rebellion type. So he was just like guns blazing, and she's more of like we have a mission kind of thing. So yeah, we see her parents, we see her uncle, who's obviously very much against the Empire, and is not only asking her to spy on whatever the Empire is doing on their planet, but also asks her to help her, and this is where the Bad Batch comes in, help her deliver arms to help him get arms from the Bad Batch.
I do enjoy how the Bad Batch are basically just a cameo in this entire.
I did too. I really like that. I love because I think I was getting a little tired of the same perspective. Mm-hmm. I think I was thinking about this when I was watching it. Shows that
it's the Filoniverse.
Right, but shows that like change it up. Like I always love the offshoot episodes where it's like, oh, we're coming at it from this angle, and then the main characters look like side characters almost in that.
Yeah, it's they're perceiving the main characters of the show in an outer lens, which I find interesting.
Yeah,
because
so it's a bit of breath of fresh
air. We
like
the Bad Batch, but we don't know how other people perceive them. So
yeah, it was cool to. Oh, also another thing is before I continue, Hera has an accent which she doesn't in Rebels.
So I was going to ask about that.
So it probably. I mean, I think I'm going to guess.
So is that entire planet like full of French? Like they all speak.
That
like
they all
French?
they all have a similar accent. Yeah.
Yeah, but they all sound like French, like like a French accent.
Yeah, more or less. Yes. For lack of a better. Yeah. But yeah. So the Empire obviously took control. Hera's dad is a big symbol to the people of Ryloth.
Yes. And
he's basically having to like bite his tongue when it comes to Senator Umfrey Tarr, who was he was not only in the Clone Wars, I think he was you could see him in some of the prequels as well.
He was in Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah. Revenge of the Sith. Yep. Yeah, he's the senator for Ryloth, and he's a piece of shit. He's always been a piece of shit. He's always been very greedy, has no values whatsoever except for, self-betterment, and he knows that. Hera's dad knows that, and what ends up happening is that she goes with her uncle to go get arms because they're having like a grand like planetary disarmament right? They're getting rid of all guns owned by citizens because obviously they're scared of an uprising.
Yeah.
And so her uncle's like, I see right through this. Like, this
Mm-hmm.
isn't peace. This is bullshit.
Yeah.
They're planning something. We're gonna get guns for our people. So we go. They meet up with I think it's on just like their moon or
Yeah,
something.
just the moon, and they meet up with the Bad Batch. The Bad Batch are
Yep.
arms dealers.
She meets Omega, which is
Meets
it was
Omega.
such a weird like clash of worlds for me.
Yeah.
And she talks to Omega about being a pilot. She wants to be a pilot
Yeah.
because Hera's like one of the best pilots in the rebellion.
Exactly.
And
The deal just goes like it's pretty fast.
yes, it happens, and all the while, Crosshair has been just
Yep.
tracking everything that's been going on.
Exactly.
And they make it back with the arms, and Crosshair's there waiting for them.
Yep.
I forget what the admiral's name is, but him and a bunch of they basically fall into a trap.
Yep.
But they get arrested, and they're in one of those it was like the Rogue One opening scene with
Yeah.
Jin or whatever. Those that like prisoner vehicle,
Yeah.
and I forgot what the name of that thing is. And they get stopped because on the way, Chopper basically goes to her parents and is like, "Hey, Hera's gonna be Hera's been accused of treason. There's gonna be no trial. She's screwed."
Yep.
And they're like, "No, she's just a fucking kid." Also, meanwhile, I completely forgot about that clone. Sorry, I keep the clone.
Who
The
said
only
she's
clone.
just
Well, it's interesting. So, I don't know the clone's name, but the entire episode, like when I first saw him, that was like a weird flashback to the Clone Wars, right? Like he was he felt like an independent clone.
Yeah.
His armor was colorful. I was like, wait, I almost forgot at the moment that like the Empire, like there wasn't the Republic. It was just,
maybe the inhibitor chips are wearing off.
well, that's what I'm thinking. Is that maybe either that?
So what happens is basically when they're arresting the child, he says she's just
a kid, right?
Yeah, like what's the deal? But he still does it. But
He does
follow orders, but still, like I think the inhibitor chip.
He might be wearing off.
Yeah,
which would be so insane.
that would make sense.
If like just like all of them started glitching, and they like were like what's going on? What happened after that?
Yeah, so basically the natives. They just rise up and they what?
Her parents save her.
Yeah, her parents save her,
And I'm pretty
It's
sure this is
basically
probably
just
the last time she ever sees her parents.
Yeah, probably. They save her. They take control. They stun most of the clones, and then
It turns out that was a trap.
it turns out that's a trap. And then
Hera's dad almost kills
Hera's
Onfrey
dad's-
Tar.
yeah, the senator. But then the Imperial officer says, "Thank you for your
And then
service
Crosshair
or
just
something."
shoots him in the.
Yeah, Crosshair
Flippin'
executes the
head.
senator, and then we see, and then he makes it look like what's his name killed him. The general.
Oh God. Syndulla is his last name.
Syndulla,
I always forget his first name.
And then Chopper has like a vehicle, and he's driving away
With Hera.
With Hera, and then the episode kind of just ends. With,
Yep.
We don't know what's gonna happen.
We don't know. We also don't know if this is if they're ever going to revisit this. Like that's the thing. Could this just be? Well, I think that this may have just been a one-off. Like I don't know if we're going to see Hera again until obviously Rebels.
Yeah.
Or this is just Dave Filoni wanted to share her origin story.
Yeah, I mean, there's enough already. So
There was one moment where that really struck me earlier on in the episode, where it was after she was caught spying on that facility,
yeah,
and the clone brings her back, and he's like, "I'm not going to report this, but just don't let it happen again."
yeah,
Which is another thing where I was like, "This he doesn't feel like he's under the influence of something," and she's like Hera's talking with her dad on like a balcony.
mm-hmm.
And he said something. He said, "My goal, because I grew up in peace, but I had to fight in a war. Right?
Yeah,
You grew up in war. he's like, my goal is for you to never have to live the life I lived, right? You know, like I don't want you to have to spend your whole life in war.
Tough luck. Yeah.
I mean, obviously we know what's good. Well, that line is like, you know, loaded, right?
Yeah.
Because we know what's going to happen. She's going to spend most of her life in fighting a war, right?
Basically.
I just thought that was something that stuck with me.
Yep.
And
But it was a great episode.
It was really, really, really fucking good.
I mean, these past 2 episodes, what I liked about them is that they expanded upon what the Empire, what turning from a republic to an empire looked like for all these different worlds.
Right.
One world that was on the side of the clones, and one world that was on the side of the separatists.
Right.
So
That's a good point.
Interesting.
Right, because to the separatists, these are just it's the same old. It's just it's the victors, right?
Yep.
Victors claiming their territory.
Yep.
For Ryloth, for like the people that were part of the Republic, it's a little more complicated because it's like these are the people that we fought and died with.
Yep.
They're not the people that we fought that last war with. Now they're
Basically.
you know, they're the enemy now.
Yep.
And it showed in real time, like that kind of realization with Hera's dad, where it's like he started off like these are the people that we fought with, and they fought for us, for our independence against the separatists. And so you sort of saw that tension within him, where he was struggling with the fact that there's more that meets the eye here, and his brother.
Transformers.
Right. Yeah.
More than meets. Sorry.
They went to the dark of the moon.
Yeah, dude.
To get the. Anyway, but yeah.
So what I think was interesting, my only real favorite. I mean, there's a lot of favorite parts I have for these past 2 episodes, but my favorite part, honestly, was when we had basically in the beginning of the first episode that we talked about, they kind of frame it as in this is a different regime, so you didn't technically lose to the Republic. You know what I mean? Like, it's the Empire, it's not the Republic.
Right.
It's a morph of kind of like the two almost.
Yeah.
Which I found was interesting because that's definitely a way to like win public support really quickly. It didn't work, but it was kind of fascinating that was the case, I found. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because it is kind of a morph. I mean, I feel like to separatist planets, like as long as there's clones, it's the Republic to them. It's the enemy.
Yeah. That's true.
And maybe that's why they got conscripts then. Maybe that's why they ditched the clones. Is because then if the separatists could also be a part of the army just as much as the people that used to be in the Republic.
Exactly.
Then it's a shared army.
Yeah, it's more healing, quote unquote healing.
Right.
Like, but
That
at
might
the same
be
time,
that might be the most the biggest reason.
it's more
why.
unifying for Palpatine.
Right.
So
honestly, I kind of wish that Tarkin, because in the first couple episodes, Tarkin was like, it's too expensive, and I always thought that was kind of like a dumb fucking, because the Republic was in debt. They didn't give
everything.
a shit. Right. They owned everything.
Everything.
Right. They literally control the money.
I feel like Palpatine was never interested in money. So
no, he gave a fuck about he gave a fuck about money. But I mean, I kind of wish they used that explanation for why they want to ditch clones.
Yeah.
So that there's like a galaxy wide army filled with people that used to fight each other,
exactly,
but now are a part of the same military force. I think that's a way more like that's a way bigger incentive for ditching the clones.
Yeah.
I don't know. What episode was this? 11? I think this was 11.
Uh-huh.
So we have 5 more episodes. This, I feel like this has no indication of where it's going to go or like how it's going to wrap up. I mean, do you have any?
Here's what I'm not going to, this is what I want to see. I'm already thinking of the next season, what I want to see in the next season. And it is specifically...
Is there going to be a next season?
I don't know. But, I mean, with Star Wars, like, no matter what, the characters will always come back.
Oh, for sure.
That's the thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Whether it be sequels or prequels. But I mean, what I want to see is a time jump where Omega is like a teen or like a young woman.
Yeah, I think
and
that's gonna have to happen.
her kind of being more rebellious towards the Bad Batch and Hunter because Hunter,
Teenager.
yeah, exactly, but also like she's very sheltered and she wants to explore, and Hunter and Bad Batch won't let her do that
Well,
because
they're so
she's taking-
protective of her. Yeah.
yeah, so protective. So I'd like to see that. That's all I'm gonna say. That doesn't answer your question, but yeah.
I think. Well, it kind of does answer my question because I'm kind of framing that question in terms of like. In my mind, I don't know why I keep just assuming that this is the only thing that we're gonna get.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is the only season. But I didn't really think about the fact that they could just like this could last for a few, and so they don't really have to. Because I mean, if this were only one season, they're way far behind from like making an arc out of this storyline. Like it's
Agreed.
you couldn't wrap all this up in the next 5 episodes. I think.
No, yeah.
I mean, you could, but I think it would be rushed. But that's a good point though. That would be really interesting. And what I also wonder is, will we see Omega? I think I may have mentioned this last episode, but are we going to see like Omega in live action?
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
With her brother Boba Fett.
There you go. That's what the Book of Boba Fett's about.
What do you think? Do you think the Bad Batch survives the Clone War or the Civil War?
No.
How long do you think? Like, do you think they make it to Return of the Jedi, or do you think they make it like not like do you think they get killed off before like the Rebels?
I don't even know. I mean, I just think they're gonna die like as it's gonna be tragic. I think I'm getting Revenge of the Sith vibes for them, where it's just like the Jedi were executed, so will the Bad Batch and all the clones.
It's got to be tragic. It's got to be, but it's also got to be like. I think it needs to be purposeful too. Like I think they have to find a way to make it a purposeful death. But I'm just thinking about like how this could end, and I really don't know. I think the reason I don't know is because I don't want it to end because I like them so much.
Yeah, here's my thing. At the back of my head, whenever it comes to the Bad Batch or any clone, I'm just reminded of the quote, "Good soldiers follow orders." Yeah. And that's not. I feel like that's tells us that the end's not going to be good for them. Like they're gonna find like peace and prosperity with their ends, and I think it's going to be through Omega because I'm sure they're gonna let like save or rescue or Omega's gonna escape and she's gonna carry on their legacy. But I think that's about it.
Do you think Crosshair comes back to the good side?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it might happen like the season finale.
Yeah, I think he's gonna come back. So I think so.
Who do you think I feel like we need to talk about this though, just because like it'd be nice to like reflect back on once it's over. Because it's in another month and it's over.
Okay.
Who do you think doesn't make it out at the end of the season? If there's one person.
I think Crosshair. But I don't know. I think his character, besides redemption, is the only thing is fully. When it comes to the rest of the Bad Batch, I'm not satisfied with their characters yet. Their character arcs and what they have to offer. So
you know what I'll say.
And I think also that Crosshair's demise will have a direct relationship with how. I'm assuming the Bad Batch are just going to become rebels, and whatever happens to Crosshair, I think, will be the starting point of them stopping to be. They're going to stop being mercenaries, and they're going to start fighting for.
They're definitely going to make that transition. Yeah.
So that's it. That's all I have to say.
I'll say this much. I think, and I don't want this to happen. I don't think it will, but I think it would be an interesting turn. Make sure you're in
the. I forgot.
Yeah. I think an interesting turn would be if there's one person to not make it out of this, it's Hunter. And here's why. It's because Omega and Hunter are so similar.
Yeah.
She looks up to him as a father figure. You know, Wrecker's more just like a big brother. Hunter is her father figure.
Yeah.
He dies. There's that vacuum that she has to fill now, and I think she assumes the role that Hunter.
That's a good point.
When she grows up.
I could see that being like, if Crosshair didn't die, then he could be the bad guy, and she's just obsessed with killing and avenging.
Not only that, but she has to understand what it's. She has to basically become the team leader.
Yeah.
Which I think would be super, super compelling.
Yeah, that's true.
What else? Anything else?
That's basically it.
Any news? Any news that we forgot?
I don't, dude. I've been on vacation.
Yeah, you are on vacation. I've been working all week, but that only means that I'm procrastinating and looking at Star Wars news. So I should know.
I don't think there
really has been. I know the Acolyte director, the Russian Doll director, has been doing some interviews, more interviews. They've been. It's. I feel like everyone does like one interview and like people like report on it, and then like they do like 5 more, but they literally just say the same things, and so it's like you've seen one, you see them all. Basically.
Yeah, basically.
Because if you work for Disney, you can only say like a list of stuff, and then that's pretty much it.
I bet they get editing rights too. Of like what you're allowed to what.
I'm sorry. You definitely for sure. I completely forgot. We did not talk about Visions. Did you watch the special look?
Oh, I did. Yeah.
Dude, that looks. I posted on our story for Instagram, but that looks so awesome.
It does.
I was excited for that when I first heard about it because I was like, there's a lot of possibilities there, but like this is
the
like
animation looks good too.
But it's like all these different types. Like it's all like different short films.
Very, very like influenced by Asian culture and film too, which makes sense for
just
Star
anime,
Wars,
yeah.
Because I mean, hey, if you didn't know it, Star Wars is very influenced by Kurosawa and a lot of Asian storytellers and stories. So Darth Vader looks like a samurai. Like,
well, that's what he was modeled afterwards. Yeah. His helmet at least.
Yeah.
I mean, here is your thing still going?
Yeah, it's still going, I believe.
There's so much going on. I want to make sure. The thing that like blew me away the most is like, in terms of like the reactions to it is like, or actually even in the video, like the artists are like, we didn't know how well Star Wars would translate to anime, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, like. I respect and love your and love your work and everything, but
I think that was just hype, though. I think that was just hype.
Well, sure. That was a weird soundbite because, like, absolutely.
We had the Star Wars for Kids YouTube series, where it's just like a quick 30-second bite that basically does a great job.
Oh, the Force. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
What is it? Galaxy
of Adventures. I think that's what it was.
Something like that.
Where it's basically they kind of dumb down every movie.
Dumb it down, but they do a great job summing it up too.
Well, I meant dumb it down, not in a derogatory
not a movie,
sense,
but just characters too. Just character.
They simplified everything into like a little nugget of that was dumb. I don't understand how anybody could look at Star Wars and look at the influence that samurai culture, Japanese culture had on it aesthetically, and they could be like, I don't know how it would translate. Like, Jedi are samurai. Like that's just they're samurai cowboys.
They're samurai cowboys. Right? Yeah.
It's so blatant. It's so apparent, and I've always like, at least in my mind, I've always wanted to make like if I ever got to that point, an anime feature film set in the Star Wars universe. That was always something that I thought would work so well.
The galaxy is the limit. The galaxy far, far away.
But apart from me just bashing people, I'm really excited about it because it sounds like there's gonna be like, correct me if I'm wrong, I think like 9 different short films.
I think so. Yeah.
They're not gonna be canon though.
Which is fine. I mean, the thing is, Star Wars is full of legends.
I really don't give a shit. Honestly, I think that's actually the best way to approach this.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: you do it canon, and then everybody like everybody
angry about it.
gets angry about it, like, oh, this isn't real, whatever. Like if it's if it doesn't land well with the audience, but but they can basically say like if one of them doesn't land well, they'd be like, well, it's not canon, so and who gives a shit.
And this seems like something that Disney Plus is doing also with Marvel because they have the What If series.
I was gonna bring that up too.
It's basically the same thing, but honestly, Acolytes is gonna have way better animation because I hate the animation style of What If, and
pretty bad.
And I understand.
I saw that.
Also, the same style of what is it? What was the Star Wars show that had it? It was 2 seasons. Poe was in it.
Oh my god, dude. Yes, Resistance.
Resistance. It's the same animation style. Resistance. Not a fan of that animation style. I'm not gonna watch it because of that animation style. Fuck that animation style. I don't want it. I don't want it anymore. We need to outlaw it. You heard it.
You heard it here, folks. So basically, what that animation style is like a 3D anime.
It's just like watercolor. It looks like watercolor 3D.
Well, right, but it's like
ugly as hell.
Just do it 2D. Here's the thing: when I first saw that Resistance was coming out, and they're like, it's an anime style, I was super excited because I once again, like, I thought Star Wars translated very well into anime. Yeah. I don't know if you ever saw that fan film on YouTube of like an anime, like it's X-Wing versus TIE Fighter.
Yeah,
so fucking good. But I thought that's what it was. I thought it was like a 2D anime. When I watched the first episode,
nice, but nope.
Well, here's the sad thing about Resistance is you probably didn't watch the whole thing, did you?
I didn't watch it.
I watched the full first season. I watched I couldn't watch more than half the second season. It just got so
boring.
Yeah. And listen, I think all stories have something to them, like, I'm not trying to bash anything, but like, and if anybody enjoyed both seasons of Resistance, more power to you. It wasn't that I was like, oh, I fucking hate this, and I turned it off. It was more of just like, oh, an episode came out on Sunday, I'll get to it, and I just never did, and I just didn't. But that was like I thought the opportunity for Star Wars to start entering the animation space.
Yeah.
But I know we're gonna get, to loop back, I know we're gonna get great animation with this because they're literally working with some of the best animation studios in Japan.
Yeah.
To create these.
Exactly.
I'm so excited for that. And I think it comes out in September. So more content for us.
You go.
I'm good. You're good.
Yeah, I'm good.
May the force be with me.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we got that, and we got. Oh my god.
We got a lot.
We got Book of Boba Fett. Oh, more Star Wars news. Keeps coming. More Star Wars news is that what's their names? Dave Filoni and sorry, this is getting to me a little bit. Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau directed a few episodes of Bad Batch. Robert Rodriguez did too. That was something that came out this week.
Interesting.
Robert Rodriguez said, there's like a quote by him that said,
he's getting his own movie.
I wish. That'd be so much fun. No, he said, oh God, what was the quote? Something along the lines of like, this is going to be way, way, way like grittier than Mandalorian, which like the Mandalorian was gritty and stuff, but like how gritty could you get with a little green baby? But so anything, if there's no babies involved, then yeah, I feel like it's automatically just grittier.
Probably.
What I've been like listening to a bunch of people as always. What I want to know is, are we gonna get the Mandalorian in this season, first season of Book of Boba Fett?
Oh,
that's what I want to know. Because they apparently like people are. This isn't
makes
like
sense.
This isn't like actual like corroborated facts, but like apparently people at Lucasfilm refer to it as season 2.5 of Mandalorian. So are we gonna get? Is this? what I want to know is, in terms of timeline,
Dude,
is this?
I need to piss. I'm sorry. Sorry.
You know what? The body wants what the body wants. This is a great time to introduce our sponsors of the show as Zach goes to the bathroom. Nobody. We have no sponsors. So this is Zach's pee break. It's ASMR time for Alex. Here, I'll do the sip.
Alright, you're cutting this out.
I'm cutting it all. Well, I did some funny stuff.
I'm sorry. I'm just so tired. Oh, my God.
We're almost done. Also, I put art in here, so it's gonna look like a weird jump cut.
I didn't realize you had Snoke too.
I do have Snoke. I got that in Texas actually.
Really?
Mm-hmm. The Sheev, the Solo, and the Scout Trooper are all part of Power of the Force, which those are from 1995.
I was about to ask, I think
And then this is.
That's when I bought. My parents bought me Star Wars toys, I think.
And then this is the.
Oh, nice.
From 1991 or 1990.
You should show those off on our Instagram, honestly.
I
should
will.
honestly that could be like a whole 10 days worth of content. Yeah, seriously, that could be 10. That's just Star Wars porn.
That was a good buy. I bought that last summer. I was like, because my mom has a VHS on, so I was like, I watched A New Hope on. It's so funny because it's in 4x3, so it's like square.
Yeah.
But it was. This is all going in, by the way. All right. And we're back. Zach's done. What did you do in there?
I prayed to God.
Sorry, I asked. You'll notice my little R2 Sphero.
What's wrong with God?
There's nothing wrong with God, but it pales in comparison to the power of the Force. So.
Do you know who Anakin Skywalker is based off of?
Jesus Christ himself.
Didn't have a father. All right, what were we talking about?
I'm gonna edit the fuck out of this.
All right, good.
Okay, it's fine. We were talking about Visions.
No, you're talking.
Oh no, we're talking about Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Dave Filoni. You already said it.
I was talking about. If the Mandalorian is gonna be in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so back to what I was asking. Do you think the Mandalorian is gonna be in Book of Boba Fett?
Yep.
You think so?
I do. This is my issue with Star Wars properties and films is that they don't know how you hear the term "don't touch the money."
I always touch the money. I've never heard that.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. They love touching the money. They never. My problem with Disney Star Wars is that they can't resist bringing people that are in their properties back.
Well, especially if they're successful.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
Mandalorian's a big fucking moneymaker.
I get that, but look at Rise of Skywalker. They couldn't resist bringing back Sheev. So
that's because they just didn't know what the fuck else to do.
Yeah, there you go. But it's also just a lack of, yeah. So
it could be that here's what's compelling in my opinion is if there's maybe a dual story there, to where, and I think maybe in season 3 of Mandalorian, then there's the time jump. I think this happens directly after season 2 of Mandalorian, where Din Djarin he's got the Darksaber, so he's kind of dealing with that.
Yeah.
Maybe he has to. Maybe we see him literally ruling Mandalore till he figures out what to do with Bo-Katan,
Sure.
in terms of giving her the Darksaber.
Yeah.
maybe that never happens. I don't know, but maybe so kind of like reclaiming Mandalore. Meanwhile, Boba Fett is, creating his crime syndicate, taking Bib Fortuna's place, who took Jabba the Hutt's place.
Yep.
So maybe it's like that dual storyline where they were allied in season 2. Maybe
Rivals.
maybe Book of Boba Fett is where they become rivals, where like that kind of like, that I don't know, so something happens where because he's a legitimate leader of a planet. Boba Fett's like a crime lord. They have to bump heads in some way. I assume. So maybe that kind of happens, but
Sure.
I don't know. I'm excited. And then once again, the thing I'm most excited about is Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Which is is in the spring.
Yep. It's gonna knock our socks off. So.
Yep.
All
right. Well, I think we've talked this to death.
Very true.
I can't wait for the new episode of Bad Batch next week. I hope if there's anybody still listening, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening. If you always listen, thank you for always tuning in. We always appreciate you. Again, if you don't, follow us on Instagram at Binary Sunset Podcast. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.